Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a dive into a couple of documents. We've been getting a lot of questions about this lately as it's become a little bit more prevalent as people are looking to move from one house to another, out of state to here to Nevada. But it's the contingent upon sale addendum, and today I'm going to walk you through how both of those work, and they tie together between the residential purchase agreement and the executing of a contingent upon sale addendum, and really how they tie in together and how we use them to protect our buyer and how we relay them to the listing agent and the seller. All right, so here we go. Let's jump right into it. And the first thing that no matter what that we got to take care of before we get to the contingent upon sale is the purchase agreement itself. So here we go. We're going to write all of our normal terms just like we would, like we're making a normal offer on any other property that we're interested in purchasing. So where it gets different is really this one box. As we scroll down and get through the financial terms, we're going to see right down here, item 4, you're going to see right here, section B, is that if we are, including in a contingent upon sale addendum. So again, you're moving from maybe one side of town to the other, out of state over here to Nevada. This is something that we're going to want to send with the offer to make sure that the listing agent knows and they can be relayed to the seller that our offer is contingent upon you selling your home in wherever it may be, because we're letting them know that if that house doesn't sell, we don't actually have the funds or the approval to purchase this house. So it can be a little bit daunting sometimes, and it could be that, maybe the listing agent and the sellers don't want to entertain an offer like this, but we are seeing more and more of them pop up because, I mean, at the end of the day, we do assume that most people are living in a house and need to sell that to move. Now, it might be that you're renting and moving into a house where you don't need this, but in this case, let's just continue down this example of we do need this to make sure that we get you into this house. So as we scroll all the way through, all this is just normal stuff. But when we get down to the bottom, we've already checked the box that this is going to come with a contingent upon sale addendum. We're going to go ahead and put down here that we are including it in our addendums. So you'll see at the end, right down here, addendums to be attached. So we're going to note it here as well. So we've checked the box now. We've included in here because at the end of the day, my job becomes to protect your EMD at this point, which is your earnest money deposit. And by doing that, having this contingency in place, if something were to happen where your home fell out of contract or it wasn't getting sold wherever it was, we could exercise this right to get you out of this contract and get a refund on your EMD. So now we go into the contingent upon sale addendum. So here's what we look like here. The top part is just going to be filled out with your basic information. Who's entering into the agreement, the buyers, the sellers, the property address, the date of it, so that everybody's on the same page on what offer this goes with. So here's where it gets a little interesting. So as you can see right here in the section C, the status of the property. So here's where we're going to have the option to select either number 1 or number 2. Now number 1, well, that's probably not the most intriguing offer when it comes to submitting, because all this is really saying is that, 1, it's not listed yet, which most listing agents and sellers, are probably not going to be too excited to see because they don't want to tie up their property too long waiting for this to happen. So, but if it is this case, we are going to have to be, upfront and let them know, hey, it's not listed yet, or it is listed for sale. Here's the brokerage, here's the MLS number, here's where it's at, so that they at least have some information on that. Now, the second part of this is option number 2. This now says that the buyer's property is in escrow. This becomes a little bit easier to sell and accept from the listing and seller side, because they already know you've opened escrow, you're already on your way, and you could be, 10, 14 days into it. It could just be a brand new escrow, but this gives them a little bit of assurance that, the ball is rolling and we may not see it tied up as long, and just kind of gives them a little bit more peace of mind knowing that it's already in escrow. So the big part of this too is going to be right down here where it says if the residential purchase agreement is not canceled in writing on or before, and this is going to be the date that we're going to enter. We're going to have this thing the day that you're supposed to close or very close to it, or something else we agree on, but my preference is always to be as close to that closing date as possible in case anything does happen last minute. We still are able to exercise this contingency and get you out and get your EMD back. Not always ideal for the listing and the selling side, but that's something that they're going to have to decide, and we're going to pitch our case that, we feel good about the situation. But at the end of the day, for the sake of this video, we're representing the buyer, and it's our fiduciary requirement to protect their interest. So we're going to go ahead and make this as close to the closing, if not the actual closing date, to make sure everything's dialed in. So there you have it. That's a contingency upon sale. That's kind of how it's tied to the residential purchase agreement. Now, just if anything does change, if it does fall out of contract, we've had that happen. We just need to make sure we exercise this as soon as possible and not leave anything up for chance. So hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully this makes a little bit sense of how you can tie them both together. Don't be afraid to submit an offer while you're selling your house. It's the best way to tie it all up sometimes. And the way that we can orchestrate it, we can even sometimes do a same day closing or a day off, 2 days off, and time it up the best we can. So hopefully this helps. As always, drop a comment. Let us know if this video was helpful. If there's anything else you want to see, make sure to let us know.